I'm recording. Glad Jen popped on because I was supposed to record. Okay. So, where was I? So, all of this is very overwhelming. So, if you are not keeping up, don't feel bad. If you have a ton of questions and none of it makes a lick of sense, don't feel bad about that either. I will tell you, when I first went through Coach Basics, I had no idea what I was doing. Kind of as with any kind of job, you kind of have to get a little bit of real world experience and just do it. And then you go back and then you're like, oh, that makes much more sense now. But, some of it you can go ahead and get and absorb, and it helps you, and it kind of just pushes you along. And you also do it for the accountability and for the, being with brand new coaches such as yourself and building those relationships and learning to, have people who you can reach out to when you have questions and that type of thing. So, Jen, I was just telling them that we don't really have a planned agenda. We just wanted to check in and see what questions y'all have, what issues have come up, what's confusing. And again, some Team Cup people are on here too, and we just combined it all just because a lot of it kind of goes hand in hand. So, right. Anybody have any questions? Is everything making sense? I know Kat likes the guy with the pink background.
Oh, God. He needs his ADHD medication.
Yes. So is everybody keeping up with everything?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, I jumped in midway, so I'm behind a little bit.
I'm way behind. I'm still on day 1.
That's all right. That is all right. There were many trainings I had to repeat multiple times because I would get sidetracked. And it's just hard. I mean, there's just a lot of information. You get overwhelmed just in general. Most of you have other jobs. So it's not like you're sitting around all day long just focusing on Beachbody training. So don't feel bad about it. Just, catch up when you can. I had one coach one time who literally took like a weekend because she had the free time and just went through everything all at once. Mm-hmm. Because it's all, I guess, Jen, or do we have it in the files section?
What's that?
Like all the training. I haven't even looked in the file section to see if, like every day we do a new post, but is everything compiled into one in the file section? Yes.
Yeah.
Shaking your head, yes. So you can always work ahead at any point in time. Like I said, if you have, a couple of free hours on Saturday or Sunday and it just feels right to sit down and do it, just knock it out. That's fine too. I spent a lot of time going back. I would have to just go back and, so don't feel bad about being behind, but just do it.
Ask a question.
Yes,
so if you have, so you say it's in the file section. Actually, I have 2 questions. You say it's in the file section under the Good Vibe Tribe file section.
I'm going to double. It should be in the training. Let me look.
Or on the training website. That's what I'm.
I see what you're asking. Yeah. Here, I'm looking right now.
I think
my second question is it okay if you get stuck on a part on a day to just move on, or do you really need, and then go back to it, or maybe never do it? I don't know. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
there's some things I'm just like analysis paralysis and. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, again, I think as you do it more and get the real world experience, then some of it just naturally starts to make more sense. Like phase 2, especially once you get into placement and rank advancement and just all that junk, sometimes it just doesn't make sense until you start seeing people underneath you and you just, Jen, that's weird. I see you twice. That is really weird. Does anybody see 2 Jens? Okay. Hi, Amy. We just got started a few minutes ago. We're just kind of, Amy. throwing out questions and throwing out questions. Oh, there is a major echo at this point.
Gotta mute Jen. She's got like a phone and a computer going or something.
Yeah, let's see. Okay.
I know. I try to turn my phone off.
All right, Jen, I've muted at least one of you. It won't let me mute you. I can't mute the frozen you.
Okay, I turned my phone off, so hopefully you can hear one of me now.
I think one dropped.
I'm gonna try removing you.
I love that picture, though.
Okay. All right. So I just looked in the file section, and there's what's called a table of contents. So you can work ahead if you want to. Again, but don't feel like you have to. I'm just saying, like, if you have a Saturday or Sunday or some late night that you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to dive into this training, you can totally work ahead. But Helen, I mean, I think, like, as you would tell your son, if there's something in his homework, I mean, I was just telling my daughter tonight, you know, she was like trying to do something. I was like, just don't get hung up on it. Just skip ahead and you can always come back, you know? So I wouldn't get too hung up on it.
Yeah, I think for me, it's fast. I joined midweek and I'm like cramming. So I'm just going through everything. I watched like just every video possible today and I'm just going for it. I think that the part I was like surprised and not quite ready for was I'm going to create a challenge group like right at like this week. And that surprised me. I didn't realize that. So I have my networks and I have kind of I invited a ton of people into my business profile. And now my question is, is that like we just start the challenge group? Like we just start working through inviting people and sharing, experiences and getting them in like right out of the gate?
Well, who's your coach?
Jen is.
Oh, okay. Jen, you want to answer that? Oh, are you frozen?
Yeah, so she is ready. I mean, I've always tried.
Wow.
I get people excited and want to start coaching, but it's real important to do your own journey first. But if you have people that you know,
are you breaking up for everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're breaking up. Try talking now. Oh, but now she's
okay. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So I always try to have people focus on their own journey first and their own challenge first. But I know.
Sorry, every time you open your mouth, you freeze.
Is this just not working?
Yeah, the uploading isn't, I guess.
Zoom is just not my friend.
But you're trying.
Do you want to hang up and call back? I don't know.
I'm trying.
Literally, as soon as you start moving your mouth, you freeze. Like you're fine when you're just looking at us, and then as soon as you open your mouth, you freeze.
It's crazy.
Love you, Jen.
I know.
I can connect with Jen on that.
So, well, and one thing I will tell you, if you already have people who are interested, the way I do my challenge groups and my stuff, we do the apprenticeship coaching. So if someone comes in and they really want to coach and they really want to bring people in, I just let them into my group. You learn from me. You can help. You can not help. We just kind of do it together. So, for those of you who are like sitting here like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know I was going to have to do my own group. You don't necessarily have to. It just kind of depends on where you are. And I mean, I was clamoring to leave Moira's group and do my own group.
Yeah, I want to do my own.
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't realize it was like going to happen instantly. And I feel like I'm midweek and I want to do it. And I have a coaching business already. And I think it's the right place to do it. Yeah, so it was just like that feeling of, okay, like.
Oh, you're the life coach, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Okay, that's me.
I remember your introduction.
Yeah, so I feel like I can do it. It's just, I guess I just didn't know it was going to happen so fast during the week, but I'm excited for it. And I'm trying to figure out how to split, like, am I recruiting people from Life Threading, my business, or am I pulling them from my personal network? I'm right in the middle of that decisioning.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And that's just something you probably have to figure out yourself. I mean, to be honest, there will come a point where you probably want to pull people from every area of your life, I mean, initially it is more friends and family and neighbors and best friends and sisters and, all that kind of stuff. And then, it just grows out.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So what's
And
this?
Kristen, can you guys hear me better now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I switched locations. I'm gonna have to kick Tom out of the family room, but I would still really encourage you to do your own journey before trying to jump in and do your own challenge group. I just think that you need to experience everything together, even if it's just for a couple weeks, just so you know, like, what to post and what to share and those types of things.
Got it.
I don't want you to feel like tomorrow you have to start your own challenge group, because I was with Moira for 6 months, if not longer. Most people don't jump right into their own.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. And I do some groups like it, so I can get there, but that's good to know that I could,
So
at
what's
least slow that part down.
And there's a lot of content too that already exists. So, you probably have your own content that you could like weave into this and everything. So it's not like you have to totally recreate or create things from scratch. I mean, there's just stuff that you can kind of from and put together.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What's the free group that is that what you're talking about, the challenge? The free group we're supposed to make?
A freemium.
Yeah, aren't we supposed to do that? So is that what you were talking about? The challenge group?
Yeah, building a challenge group.
Well, they're two. That would be two different things. A freemium is something that you just offer, like a clean eating recipe group, or we've done like gratitude groups. Everyone kind of picks and chooses what they do based on what interests them. I mean, I've done a lot of recipe groups. I've done that might be all I've done. Have I done anything else? Have you done anything besides food and recipes? Well, I guess I did a 5 days to a healthier you, which that had recipes and meal planning and stuff. But it's basically just something that you want to offer to people to, build relationships and get them, into your network and get conversations going about things.
And then you thread in things about Beachbody, like the challenge groups and the next step of support. So it's for those people that you always want to be providing value to people. If they're not ready to jump into your challenge group, you still want to be able to invite them to something or provide value to them so they start building trust in you. So that I actually do a freemium every single month, and I've been doing them probably for 6 months now, every month. And I'm finally starting to get people that are jumping on board as challengers from my freemiums. It doesn't happen right away because these are like total strangers out cold market. Like I found like through an ad, a Facebook ad that were interested. So they are a lot of work, but they also provide a lot of value and start building trust for people that don't really know you. But a freemium is separate than the challenge group. So Amy, you're in my challenge group now where people are buying a challenge pack and Shakeology, and they're kind of like your paid customers. A freemium are just people you're building relationships with. It'll hopefully turn into customers and clients in the future.
And Amy, are you in phase 1? You're in phase 1, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I haven't. Phase 1 has changed since I've done it, so I didn't realize it was telling y'all to do a freemium already. So that's one of the things.
That's probably where I got confused too.
Yeah.
So a freemium is, it can be a 2-day group. It can be a 3-day group. It can be done through Facebook. It can be done through the app, all kinds of options. Oh, look at that cute baby.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we are supposed to start that though pretty quick. Do I need to do that, Jen?
We'll talk about it later. I didn't do a free group for a long time. I mean, I started working with, the people that I know, love, and trust first before I started doing freemiums, because I think you really need to kind of find your niche and figure out what you want to be doing for a freemium. But I will be doing one in 2 weeks. So Amy, you're in my free group already. And Kristen, if you want to be a part of my free group to kind of see how I work it, but I have requirements to get people in my free group. I always make them give me my email or give them their email. And I also have them like my page before I'll add them to the group. That way I can stay connected to them, invite them, start giving value to them. So, I don't want you guys to feel like you have to go out and do a freemium. Kristen, you probably have a lot of content that you could do one to start building your network more if you want.
Yeah.
But don't feel like you have to. And Amy, for sure, you guys both want to make sure you're experiencing your own challenge and your own journey, because you need to be able to walk the walk and talk the talk to get people on board.
Yeah, I didn't do one until after 6 months or so.
Right.
And you can do them together. You can do them. I mean, sometimes we do them together. That's one thing. That's another thing I just thought of, Mike. The last Team Cup, we did a freemium. Like all my Team Cup members did a freemium together. So there are all different kinds of options of people you can do it with and team up and.
And you can offer a fitness one and have people sign up for your 30-day free membership so that you're doing like the workout of the day. Yeah. That might be a good one for you, Mike, because you're a lot, very into fitness, whereas I feel like most people want my recipes. So a lot of mine is geared around food, but like Mike, for sure, you could do a 30-day or a week fitness one with the 30-day membership and do like the workout du jour with people. There's all kinds of great freemium ideas out there.
Yeah, I'm actually starting March, I'm going to do a Couch to Spartan race.
Oh, I saw that. That's
nice.
Premium.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that'll be my first one that I've ever done.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's great.
One thing I will advise y'all about freemiums. My very first one, I put way too much work into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it totally fried me. I didn't get any. Well, I'd have to look back. It's interesting because I did it last February. I'd have to look back and see if anybody that did that freemium has now become a challenger. But I put so much hard work into it, and I felt like I got nothing from it. So I would keep it short, sweet, and simple. Use content that's already out there. Limit the posts you do. It's a freemium. So people, you can give them a couple of recipes and, some value, but, I just overdid it totally and then got totally burnt out. But a lot of us have lots of great content already that you can just copy.
And there's a ton on the Beachbody blog. I mean, that's where I get all my recipes and stuff like that, is from the Team Beachbody blog. They have so much information. There's really nothing you have to recreate between them and Google.
Totally. What other questions, issues are y'all running into?
Any objections you guys are getting or inviting?
I have a question. When people, can they just start whenever? Because they're wanting to start now. Well, by the time they get started, then we're already halfway through. So what do you tell them? Like once you start, you want them to sign up, but say just get your stuff and then you can jump on the next one with us, or?
I always give them the option because right now we are right in the middle. So like Kristen, I sent her the prep week information and ahead of time because I knew she wouldn't have any trouble with it. But I always give people the option to go ahead and start now, but just let them know that we're in the middle of a challenge, or just have them order and start a few things on their own, like trying the workouts, have them start the shakes immediately so they can start feeling good, and then let them know that we'll start prep week February 28th.
So they can work out at their own leisure until the next group starts, kind of.
Yeah, I always try to get people in 21-day fix. So I would have them just start, a couple of the workouts ahead of time, for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and just let them know they'll be in prime condition to start fresh with us February 28th. You can add them to the group then if you want. It's up to you, but I would talk to them and see what they prefer. But it's always better to have somebody start at the very beginning or during prep week than to have them come in the middle. But I always give them the option.
I always say, I struggled with this in the beginning because I wanted it to fit in a nice little box and I wanted everybody to start on the same day. But quite honestly, if you have someone who's coming to you and they're motivated and ready to get started, get them started.
Right.
There's so many people you'll lose. Like if you say, well, the next group doesn't start till February 28th, and they'll just be like, oh, okay, well, I have time. And so, I mean, I am always, you got to strike while the iron is hot. If someone says they are interested, you say, great, let me send you the link. Go ahead and get it, and we'll get you started. I mean, because people lose momentum. They talk themselves out of things. You know, if they talk to a friend or to a husband or whatever, you know, they get, I mean, it just, again, if someone says they're interested, get them right then and there and get them started.
Yeah, I started in the middle of a group with Cece's group, and I was one of those. I was just grab the bull by the horns and just go.
Yeah.
And it was a little confusing at first when everybody else was, you know, posting and this, that, and the other, and I was, you know, trying to make things way too difficult. But just as long as you're working with them and answering any questions they have, there's no problem.
Yeah.
Just, you know, especially, you know, if they're, like she said, if they're kind of on the fence, and if you make them wait, just get them going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we do have the prep week information in the file section, Amy, so people can always get started, or I have it in an email that I can send to you if I haven't sent it to you already.
I have it. The prep. I have that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
You sent it to me.
Are all of y'all on Team Cup teams? I know, Kat, you're not. Helen, are you on a team? There, Ellen, I know you are. Are you on Moira's team?
I am.
God bless you.
Like,
Way to jump right in, girl.
I know. I'm like, I don't. Yeah, I'm just trying. It's hard this month.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Probably just all the pressure. I'm like, but it'll happen.
Well,
I didn't know.
Our name's the team winners, so you know.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
the team.
well, and y'all are first place in the Southeast, so
We are.
yeah.
Wow.
Yep, you
Well.
sure are. You sure are. Woo!
Not for me. For my one challenge pack, but I'm working on some.
Hey, every little bit helps. All right, what other questions? So let me think. Is there any? Do y'all have anything, or I'll just like come up with something?
I have something. So if they make excuses to why they can't do this or that, what do you guys do to get them back going? Like if you say when you check in with them 2 or 3 times a week, you just say, how are things going? You know, have you been working out? Have you been liking your shake? Like, what do you say to them? And then also if they have excuses of why they haven't been working out, what do you do to try to get them just kind of listen to them? And
yeah, you know, it kind of depends. You get better at it the more you do it, and the more you hear, and people give you all kinds of excuses, and really, I think a lot of it goes back to personal development. So I always encourage people to keep doing that, because I think that, and you'll notice again once you do it that there's just kind of this trend of whatever, and really I think it just goes back to personal development and people just trying to change how they think about things, how they think about themselves, how to get out of certain mindsets of I don't have time, I'm not a morning person, whatever, and just do it. And there are times when, you know, you'll have to be, you know, give them tough love. And there'll be times when you have to kind of be sympathetic and be like, oh man, you know, that's rough. You just kind of, you know, so you just kind of gauge and just get better at it. But I always just kind of check in and just ask simple questions and let them talk.
It's really important when you're starting to talk to people. I'm sorry. Did she freeze? To get their goals so that you can say if they're not working out, you know, why. Who's freezing, me or you guys?
You are.
You. But it was like goals, you know. It's just a dramatic, like. It was great.
Zoom is not my friend. Me and Zoom. But it's really important when you're talking to people to find out what their why is and what their goals are. So that when they're not working out, you can say you really wanted to lose 20 pounds by summer vacation.
Yeah.
And if they don't feel comfortable, like we're in such a small town and they didn't want to tell me their weight and stuff. And I said, that's fine. Just write down what you want to lose so you know what that is. Right. I just kind of told them. If they didn't want to tell me, I didn't want to make them tell me.
you know, and I think we have some coaches now who have a fitness background. And I mean, I think that they run their groups a little bit differently. And I kind of go back and forth. My number one rule has always been, I don't want anybody to do anything they're uncomfortable with in my group. I mean, the group is there to support you, but you don't ever have to post pictures. You don't ever have to, you know, say how much you weigh, how much you want to lose. You don't ever have to post your measurements, whatever. But I do always say that the more you share, the more accountable you become, and you know, the more you get out of things. But I always make sure that people are comfortable. You know, you don't want anybody being uncomfortable. But now I lost my train of thought.
So I just said, well, you write them down. You write them down, and then you know what they are. And then I had her just tell me some non-scale goals and some things like that, so I could at least have something to write. And then you guys just write them down. I just wrote them down in my little notebook, what their goals were.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? Okay.
I keep up within the group. I mean, I ask everybody to write their goals, and not everybody does at this point because people have been in it for so long. I should get better about it, but I still check in every week.
Yeah.
And what do you do when you check in with them? Is there like questions to ask, or you just make up your own?
Yeah, I just kind of make up my own. I mean, it just kind of depends. Just, you know, how's it going this week? How are you feeling? Notice
How's your energy? Are you sleeping better?
Yeah.
Are you pooping better?
Sorry. That's for sure.
Okay. Those are the questions I was already talking about, so I've been doing that. So.
Yeah, and sometimes once you get a good community built, people share it, so you already kind of know what's going on, and then you can just kind of send them a private message and say, that's awesome that such and such, you know. But, you know, it takes a while to build that that community.
Yeah, it does.
But it comes, and then when it happens, it's a beautiful thing, and it's just.
So I jumped in, and you guys were talking about a table of contents. What was that all about?
That was in the files section. I was just saying that if some people are behind on the training, I was just saying, you know, that if you want to catch up or work ahead, like if you find just a chunk of time where it works for you to just sit down and knock out the training, that all of it is in the files section, and it's called Table of Contents, and you can just click on all the posts there. Any other questions or issues, or, you know, just, it's a lot. Just remember, it all goes back to a couple of things. You doing your own journey and being a product of the product. So if you aren't working out, if you aren't keeping up with your accountability, if you're not using the containers, if you're not, you know, doing all those things, then your challengers and your coaches won't. So you have to stay true to that. Personal development is huge. There is never an end of recommendations for personal development. And a lot of times the solution that most coaches will tell you to your problems or questions, it's some kind of personal development book or audio. And I kind of poo-pooed it in the beginning because I was like, holy shit, if Moira tells me one more time just to go read this freaking book because of whatever, I'm going to be like, but honestly, it will change your life. It will help you get better at everything that you do in coaching, as a mom, as a dad, as a, you know, a spouse. So it really is important. And then just inviting. You have to stay consistent with inviting and reaching out to people. And just that just boils it down just to the simple, basic.
I saw, is there paperwork we need to be doing? Is that in the files? Sorry, he's getting hungry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I thought Jen was getting ready.
There's no paperwork, Amy, but there is homework each day that you have to do. So there's like for day one in the phase one coach basics, there is homework like working on your why, looking at the social media information. So we're on day 4. So just make sure you go back and start working through some of that, or maybe take this weekend to get caught up on some of that.
Okay. And I find that in the table of contents. I saw the why thing come through.
If you want to go back, it's in the table of contents, or you can just do what's still in the wall of that Facebook group. So there's day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4 so far.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know that was, today was really crazy, but yeah, I'll go back and do that tonight. So.
That's fine. And it's a lot of information, so don't feel like you have to do it. Like I went live in that group today, and if it takes you 3 weeks to get through, that's fine. I mean, I think it took me 3 times to go through it, CC. Didn't like the first 2 or 3 times, it just didn't make sense and it wasn't clicking. So don't feel like you have to get it all right now. The most important thing is for you guys to experience your own journey if you're new. Start sharing what you're comfortable sharing, and just start building those connections with people. The inviting word scares the crap out of me, so I just try to think of it as relationship building and talking to people. And when it comes up, and you start forming them, finding out about their family, their occupation, their recreation, and then you kind of move it to health and fitness or wellness somehow. And for you guys that are new, just ask people that know, love, and trust you, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'd love for you to join me. Let's do it together. Let's learn it together. Keep it simple. I overcomplicate things all the time.
I do too. I'm too wordy.
That's why I like that site, the training site. It really simplified all that stuff for me.
Yeah.
Facebook posts and everything, I was like, oh, but the site's great, and it
walks you through it. It might be an easier way to do it.
Yeah.
So that's the Good Vibe Tribe training site, Amy, where you can just kind of self-pace yourself through it.
Okay, just in the file section. Is that where you found that? Where did you find it?
That's in a link on like the day 1 post in the Facebook group. You can get right over to it. And if you're not registered for it, it takes a day, but that's really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where is it again?
It's a separate website. It's called I don't know the name.
Good Vibe Tribe Coaches.
Coaches.
Good Vibe Tribe Coaches.com.
I looked at that stuff. And what was it called? The day 1?
Yeah, there's quick start, and then there's phase 1. And in phase 1, every little, there's videos, little elements you can click on.
So are we supposed to start a website by ourselves too?
It's totally up to you.
Not yet.
I wouldn't focus on any of that. Again, focus on your own journey, being a product of the product, mixing in personal development with it, and just sharing with others and inviting. And I wouldn't get hung up on
like pages or
websites honestly, one of my biggest regrets is that I did a like page too soon and got hung up with that. Don't focus on that kind of crap. Focus on inviting. It all boils down to that, really. I mean, you can spend a lot of time just wasting your time and energy on things like that. And really what it boils down to is, again, your own journey. And then once you kind of get beyond that, it's all income producing activities, and creating a like page and spending time to make that look pretty is not gonna,
it's fun, but it's not going to get you where you want to go right now.
And so we're getting ready to get kicked off because I canceled my subscription to Zoom because I didn't want to pay for it anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to have to end this call.
Yeah.
But y'all keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
Don't get overwhelmed.
Thank you.
Come to us for questions, and good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.